Right at it. Right at it. Oh, he's done it again. Just as he did at the John Deere for his first win.
Good evening, good morning, good night, and welcome back. We are back. Spieth is back. Dan's beard is back. Everything's back. Episode 102 of the Go Get That Pod. It's been 2 months. It's been a long time. We're excited and not excited at the same time to be back. Hopefully we make it through the week mentally. I know we usually have the prep every week, like it's sadness to sadness to sadness to sadness. But this week, it's been 2 months since we've had to deal with Mr. Spieth on the golf course. So should be, is fun the right word to use?
I mean, you talk about it like it's a chore.
It's not a chore by any means.
I mean,
talking about it is not a chore. Watching
the
round, yes.
Let's be serious here. The vibes are very high. The Dolphins and the Rangers playing great. Michigan, as we can see by Dan's name, massive win in the game. My Ravens are top in the AFC, so we got to bring it back down to earth. And lo and behold, Jay Spieth is back to do just that.
Hopefully, he's somewhere in between Michigan and Mac Jones. Somewhere in between there.
That's quite a gap.
That's be a quite good bar. Well, and I think somehow Spieth.
Where would you compare on just like an overall success level? M. Jones, Mr. Day.
Well, see, Mr. Day, you're talking our day. I assume.
Our day
has accomplished quite a bit, except beat Michigan since this in the Stallions era. So, I'll put our day here. And I'll put M. Jones here. And I'll put B. Belichick at my feet.
Yeah.
And I'm a massive 6'8", so he's way down there.
Is B. Belichick had his run?
Let's just say I hope B. Belichick is a commander after the end of this season.
Speaking of the Commanders, the Dolphins play the Commanders this week, I believe.
I know. I started Tua in fantasy.
Good.
Because L. Jackson is on bye.
He is.
Yeah.
Deserved bye for L. Jackson.
Congrats. Speaking of that, it is kind of crazy how high all of our sports lives are right now. Thanks, Spieth, for coming in to surely continue that.
If he loses to Tiger this week, come on.
What if it's Tiger 1, Spieth 2?
See, here's the thing.
Well, then
I've been proven wrong too many times. Does Tiger show up here if he's not going to come up with like a T7 and just like give everyone hope for like a Masters victory? I don't know.
He said he's rusty, and Spieth said he's optimistic. So therefore, Tiger by 8. That's the only way it goes this week, I think.
Well, we can start here by talking about the media today, because I just like. It feels like everything that comes out of Mr. Spieth's mouth right now, in this state of where his game's at, is the wrong thing we want to hear.
Yeah, you could say that. I think it's just all it's the same stuff.
Yeah, it's same stuff.
We can start with the big thing was he got hurt again.
Yeah, with a toaster. Let's not leave out the details.
Yeah, with the toaster. So first it was playing with Sammy, and then it's feeding Sammy.
Yeah.
Do with that what you will. Anyway, that's brutal. If he's playing with his kid and making toast and the wrist just like takes him out for 2 weeks. I mean, what if he's just, floating on a pool noodle in Dallas and there goes the wrist on April 1? What do we get like
how hard is it to just ask Annie to make the toast? I don't like, why are we breaking our wrist before
a piece of toast? I don't know. It's
like, that can wait for your 50s.
Yeah. It's like how DJ fell down the stairs at Augusta, or Finau popped his ankle out at
honestly with Spieth, I think we just need to ban all hazards, like no stairs. Let's get him a ranch.
Well, I kind of think we just like, hey, Sea Ranch. Speaking of ranch, we could just get him a brace, and he wears that when he's not playing.
Yeah, for sure.
Put him in bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't watch the full interview. Did he say that like he's fine? Or
Yes.
that
He,
yeah, I remember reading somewhere that he still feels like he's 100% health wise.
to give him the benefit of the doubt, I believe he said it happened like very, very shortly after the Ryder Cup. And then he
Yeah.
took a couple weeks off because of it, which would leave about 5 to 6 weeks between fully healthy and
Right.
here. And he did
And
say
we-
he has
and-
been working, which we will.
And you
I
would have
applaud him
taken
for
those
that.
2 to 3 weeks off regardless. So
Congrats
It's not
to the
impossible,
pro
probably.
golfer for practicing.
Yeah.
the next thing I want to touch on was how Mother Nature is determining how much he practices in the off season.
Boy.
That was
Okay.
ridiculous.
Well, I think I can't remember where he said it, but I feel like he mentioned he thought about maybe spending like part of his winter in Florida in the future because of the Dallas Decembers. Will he actually do it? Probably not, because that's a weird relocation for the kids for a month. But
come to Arizona.
go play with
that's-
the new live player Rom, I guess. So
Yeah, go play
Is
with
Arizona
with-
closer to Texas than Florida?
has to be.
these are the hard
Texas to Phoenix is only like an hour and 20 flight. And I believe it's like 3.5 across the country.
I'm gonna pull up my map real quick. I
in the
mean,
meantime.
depends where you're going in Florida. I'd say Arizona's probably a touch closer.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter too much. with
Correct, it
Jake
doesn't.
Heath and
He's not going anywhere.
his private jets.
Why not just an afternoon in Tampa? Like, why not just an afternoon at the range in Tampa? You can be
You mean the 16th tee at the Innisbrook Resort?
let's
Yes,
in
just
Tampa?
take off. You'll be home
That's a
for
good
dinner.
idea.
Sammy will be waiting for you on the front steps. Like
With the piece of toast. Yeah.
piece of toast.
I will say because I know the interview was pretty classic stuff, and maybe we've just been gone for 2 months. I don't know, Jordan, your thoughts on this yet either, but it seemed like he seems optimistic about his game, and he said he was closer. And just the way he described some things are like giving me a little bit of hope. But is this the same hope that I've had for 3 years?
Do we have an over/under count on the amount of times Mr. Spieth has used the word close in the last?
Yeah, but
Very
years?
close.
But this time it was very, very close.
I'd like to hear close now and not in February, I guess.
Yeah. And he did say he was trying to get ready by the century.
But like, what's the mindset of I want my game to be good by January 1st, but if it doesn't get there till January 15th, that's okay.
fine.
I mean, that's an extra 2 weeks because he's probably not playing Farmers.
But if it's not there January 1st, the odds are it probably won't be there January
Yeah,
15th.
You're not going from it's not there to winning a golf tournament
I think
on January 15th.
what I'm excited about this week though is I don't know if they've had Tourcast before.
I don't
but
think they're going
They do
to.
have Tourcast.
They
so
do this
there
week?
will be, yeah, I believe so.
So that
That's
means
nice.
probably bet 365.
So there will
Yes.
be
Buttling.
strokes gain data, which is also nice. Granted, it's only a
Wonderful.
20-person
20
field.
people. It could be
Well,
very
like-
good or very bad.
Yeah, so it could be all over the place, but it'll at least be like, hey, I mean,
We have
it's one thing if Spieth misses a bunch of putts because he's still in the recession, but if there's some positive trends with the ball striking, I think that's at least a good sign that he and Cam are doing some good work.
Mr.
Can we
McCormick's
bring
in
in
the
a-
Bahamas as well. We should report that. Mr.
Oh.
Griller, not in the Bahamas.
not in the Bahamas. Hold on,
Who's
before
on
we
the
touch
bag
on
this week?
that, can we bring in a shots gained to Hoods metric for an event like this? It is his tournament after all, and I feel like that's something I would want to know. I want to know how Spieth is comparing to old man Woods right now, because that would be very, very telling to where his game's
I
at.
mean, we'll get that data. We will get
I
that
think
data.
we will. We'll get a
Yeah.
comparison. I bet if you had to set a line on Spieth versus Woods round one, what are the odds there?
I think Woods will play well in the first round. Honestly,
I think
Woods
Woods-
is just gonna be so much.
I think Woods could outplay Spieth this week.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you watch Woods'
just hope
press conference,
you
he
know what's
looked
gonna
like
You
he
look
looks
like a
scary.
man.
He's
Yeah.
winning a golf tournament this year if he stays
Yeah.
healthy. I'm booking it.
That's crazy.
And all of us are by no means Tiger Woods glazers by like at all.
No,
Well, that's what
So
I'm
for us
not
to be
excited
saying
about.
this it's very unbiased.
it's been a long time since I've heard
like
Tiger this optimistic.
the foreplay
Mhm.
pod is already like, oh my God, Tiger's gonna do all this. And I think what bothers me about some of their stuff is that
Some
like Dan Rappaport's like, oh, it's an amazing week if he beats two dudes. But then the rest of them are like, oh my God, he's gonna win. So then when he finishes 17th, they still say, oh, it's an amazing week. And it's like, no, you predicted him. Riggs has him finishing 5th this week.
It's for
You predicted him to finish 5th. And then when he finishes T18 with
Keep in
Stenson
mind.
or
Stenson.
And
something.
don't get me wrong, I like Barstool, but those are credentialed journalists at all four majors.
Tough look.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, they make excellent content. They grow the game. And I just like,
It's no means hating on foreplay. Yeah.
it's just like, I don't know. They take it to a different level. I don't really want to see all that stuff. Let me just appreciate Tiger for what he is. Like they've kind of almost a little bit ruined rooting for Tiger. A little bit.
Honestly, I don't know. Because I've never been someone to root for Tiger. There's very little people I would root for. I'd root for Tiger over. But recently, just like the soft spot, because like there's so much hype surrounding it, like when he plays, kind of like gives me a reason to root for him. But at the same time, if he was coming down the stretch with even like Billy Horschel, I think I'd be rooting for Horschel just to see the fans. You know what I mean?
React
like
to
all
Tiger.
those Tiger fans get down by Billy Horschel.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. And you're right. I feel like that's part of it.
Yeah. That's fair. I mean, well, what do you got? Like, what do you think Tiger finishes this week? I see him at like 14th.
See him around 10th, like around middle of the pack.
Somewhere in there.
Okay.
I mean, this is a
I-
really good field. Like,
Yeah.
there's just some dudes in this field who I don't see him losing to. I think he played this event. I mean, it's obviously his event, but I think he played it a few years ago and it didn't go very well.
Yeah. I mean, I heard Morikawa hasn't practiced until today.
Yeah,
or
I'll take a Morikawa who hasn't practiced over a Tiger who hasn't practiced.
It's just scary that we're looking at this field and we're like, Jordan Spieth is one of the least intimidating players on this list.
Well, he didn't
Yeah.
win. He didn't win this year.
He didn't. He mentioned that though, which was nice.
Good.
Still gave himself a B.
Wouldn't have been shocked if he was like, well, I did win off the course this year.
Yeah. Oh, just wait till he gives himself an A- actually for winning the Hero World Challenge this week, or like
a World Challenge and changes it to an A-.
a third
Man.
place gets it up to a B+ or something.
Yeah.
I'd sign up
It's-
for a win.
It's kind of crazy because he's like 16th in the world now.
Oh man, not this again.
It's pretty
Like,
accurate.
It's and Data Golf has him what, 30 something?
30th. Pulling up 30th. Yes, on the dot.
Wow.
Nikolai Højgaard is one spot
Oh.
above him.
I mean, Højgaard did win.
What
The-
about big man Bobby Mack?
McIntyre. Data Golf hates McIntyre. He's 150th in the Data Golf rankings.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Yeah, but I mean,
JT passed him again. Interesting.
in Data Golf,
Yeah, I guess JT did play one event. And he played it pretty well.
he
And
played
Spieth hasn't
the
played in 2 months.
JT
Well,
play the Fortnite.
JT hits the range when he shoots at 80.
I mean, Spieth hits the range. We saw that at the PGA.
I know. I'm just kidding, but
He just
I
doesn't
think-
post about it because it's bad for the camp.
Yeah, we see JT because I mean JT is very active on social media. Spieth is not active on social media.
Yeah. Let's wait till JT has a kid to take care of instead of just Franklin, his dog.
Franklin's a good boy.
Franklin does look like a good boy. It's funny.
Oh,
But it should what's the TV coverage this week?
it's not very good.
Yeah,
It's rough.
I mean it's 5 hours on the weekends. Which
Tiger's
isn't
in the
bad.
field too, so we're not going to see a certain someone
Yeah.
very much. I don't think
Yeah.
at all, unless he's in the unless he's in contention. On the
Well, his
weekend.
group, I think his group is right behind Tiger on Thursday, right?
That's a good question.
I mean, I remember in 21 when he was with Bryson.
He's a couple groups behind Tiger.
Okay. Like I remember them showing Bryson and he and Spieth were the same score and they still didn't show Spieth, and that was funny.
And that makes sense though.
And then that's where I claimed Bryson moved the needle more than Spieth. But
Well,
I don't know, he's
Bryson's
second.
no longer on the tour.
Yeah, second to last
It's-
pairing. So there could be some shots on Thursday. Although it is coverage doesn't start until 2 hours into his round. So if he's like +1 through 9, then it no shot.
For +1 through 9, that would not be ideal.
No, it would not.
Although I must say, what was I going to say? Having Tourcast, which Dan pointed out, is very nice. I believe that's a first at this course.
That's what I think too.
It makes tracking much easier. Get some stats to see what actually is going right and what's going wrong. Granted, with a 20-man field. But yeah, it's crazy. These 8 weeks have really flown by since we've last talked. The off season's kind of weird because you have the Ryder Cup through here, which is 2 months, and then we have about another month off after this week. But the off season is mostly over, which is pretty crazy.
And this off season specifically is just like weird.
Yeah, I mean it's really flown by. I think personally,
And
from-
especially like
know.
just because like I mean we have a podcast and I still don't know what the hell is this next 125 or whatever the fall season is. I still don't know what that is.
Challenger Series.
The PGA Tour has really done a horrible job of like promoting how that actually works.
I don't really think
So,
the problem with it is there's no names playing, and golf is driven by names.
yeah,
It's for the bad player. Well,
It's
not bad
quite
players.
literally for the bad players.
See, I was trying to be
Which
kinder than
I
bad
mean-
players, but
I think
I mean,
the less talented.
I think they'll take that. I call it a risk because it is. I guess I think they knew that the viewership was obviously going to be down this fall, but if they can get bigger names in more fields from February to August, I think that is when they'll make their hay in terms of viewership, in terms of things like that. I think that's kind of what they're hoping for. And then obviously when you get the support of the PIF, I don't think money's like that. Money's not tight, certainly for the PGA Tour. So, yeah, it was an interesting fall. I think people were just trying to maintain their tour cards. I don't know of any massive stories coming out of it. But I think it's nice. Like golf deserves some time off. I think football is just going to take people's attention. Restart of hockey, restart of basketball. I think golf fits nicely in. Like I'm pretty excited for this week, and I think I'll be really excited for the Century. Like I think that'll be cool.
yeah, like I'm excited for this week, but like I don't want to watch golf all December.
Yeah, no, exactly. And
This is good. This is a good like in between the end of the real season, basically after the Ryder Cup to the Century. It's an exhibition with official world golf ranking points, essentially.
Yeah,
like it's a perfectly placed in the schedule.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Do we know? This is kind of off topic but NBC's on the coverage. Do we know
Yes.
who filled the seat?
Yes,
we do.
Taken by the
we
Zinger.
do.
Mr. McGinley.
Mm-hmm.
At least it's not full time. Like I guess
Which
to
is, in my
try
opinion,
out.
Could be a tryout.
absolutely fine with me.
He's been.
Yeah,
I think people have liked him a lot on the golf.
Yeah.
I forget what the show's called, but with
I mean, he's with
Brandel and,
Leah live from.
Yeah, Brandel and oh man, who's that other guy? You both
Lerner?
know who I'm talking about.
Rich Lerner. Rich Lerner.
Rich Lerner. Yes.
It's a phenomenal trio.
Rich
It
Lerner,
is.
Brandel,
It
and
is.
Paul McCann.
Well, Brandel
Well,
has his goods and his bads.
yeah. Well, I think and people were saying that
I mean, for comedic purposes.
Yes.
Paul McGinley debated well with Brandel a lot.
Nothing like a good old golf discussion turning into a murderous dictator discussion.
Who? I forgot who was the guest on it that really dictated. Oh, Brad Faxon and Brandel. I don't know
Yeah.
if you recall that, but Faxon was hilarious with Brandel. Just blank, like straight looking him in the eyes, and like that was funny. But yeah, McGinley's cool. I mean, Azinger really doesn't do anything for me. I don't want to say I'm happy he's gone because like he wasn't bad,
He
but
just
like
he lost
there's no
his
needle being moved with
yeah,
Paul
he lost his
Azinger.
fastball.
Yeah,
Yeah. Did he have a fastball?
Yeah, I was just about to say he
I think
might
he
just
just
have never
had. I think he had a screwball, a splitter, a slurve,
and a knuckleball that would get away.
and a knuckler that.
he would never not
Sometimes that
discuss
thing
pressure.
not
That's for
knuckle.
sure.
Yeah. He liked to
Pressure's on
throw.
now.
He liked to throw
Mhm.
curves at the top of the zone sometimes, but
Yeah. Hit the backstop. Ones that would
No.
bring home runs in from third.
I mean, have you guys seen any names linked? Or like, is there a list? I feel like I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of other than Mickelson, but obviously
That's
that's not
obvious.
happening. But like, I don't
Can
know
you imagine
who's
Brandel and Mickelson both working for the same company?
that would be all time. I mean, maybe what if they just bring Faldo out of retirement?
Faldo goes from CBA. Well, I mean, he did MVC work. He did the weekday
Yeah.
coverage.
Well, I think
don't know Faldo.
he likes doing the Open. I don't know
Yeah.
if Faldo.
I don't know where they're gonna go.
What if they just get? Well, I was gonna say, what if they got Catalan, but couldn't be him.
Yeah. Who is it? Aaron Oberholzer?
Yeah, he's pretty solid.
They could do him.
But isn't he on the course a lot?
Yeah, but I'm saying they could bump him.
Just bump him up.
Yeah, I'd assume they'd hire someone that's already on staff, just like Immelman.
I mean, it is at the end of the day a color guy, though. I mean, you could bring in someone pretty.
Yeah, like I think you'd
bring-
want want somebody that has experience.
You do,
like
but I
it-
doubt they want to
Like
spend a lot of money.
this would be perfect for
Yes.
Mickelson if everything hadn't
It really
transpired.
would be.
Yeah, the amount of money Mickelson would ask for would be out of this world. He'd probably ask for Brandel to be fired as well too if he ever would were to consider it.
You ever think Tiger
But at the
would
end of the
be-
day, I feel like Phil is more valuable. Like Phil, before everything he did, is more valuable than Brandel.
Yeah, but Phil would ask for 25 times the amount of money that Brandel's probably making.
But he'd also get Brandel fired. So
What were you gonna say then?
I was gonna say, do you think Tiger would ever do it? Or do you think he'd be good at it?
Good, yes. But again, like I don't know. Like again, he'd cost a ton of money too. I don't know what the networks would spend. The thing with Tiger would probably bring viewers though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I guess that's
Good
the other thing.
question.
Like NBC they can't splash on a commentary like ESPN did with Aikman and Buck.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine Immelman cost CBS a ton, but he's awesome,
Mhm.
right? But
Yeah, I'd agree.
they gotta find kind of it could be an Oberholzer. I hope they don't send Smiley Kaufman up there too soon.
That's what someone sent me in my DMs.
I think he needs some more time.
It seems kind of early.
I mean, what if Bones just doesn't want to walk the course anymore?
Bones would be fine with me.
Or
But I
do you think
think
you need like a player input?
He seems to
No.
be fine on JT's bag at the moment.
Are you saying? I don't think it needs to be a player. Like Bones would work for that as well.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But
Sure, Dan.
I think
Hicks
anything's
has
an
some people in
improvement.
mind too. Oh, Raisinger.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You need somebody to mention when it's a match play situation on the back nine on Sunday. But ventured off topic here. Any who's on the bag this week? Because Greller is not, and I haven't paid too much attention to who is.
Eric Leyendecker? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yes, yes, I follow him
I
on
think he's a
Instagram.
high school
Yeah.
friend of Jordan's.
Yeah,
Pretty
he
sure.
is.
Interesting. Interesting. We shall see how good Mr. Leyendecker is. What do you think Greller's up to these days?
Very good question why Greller isn't there. I don't think there's any controversy or anything.
I don't
but
think. Well, I mean, we're not going to speculate. Everyone's like trying to make something that probably isn't.
No.
Like nothing's happened between them two. At least I don't think.
No, not
I
at
would
all.
doubt it.
There could be some
I think
familial obligation.
I think
or
if there
something.
was,
It is an
something,
unofficial event at the end of the day.
you'd hear more
Oh
about
yeah.
it, and Spieth would have a more, with all due respect to Mr. Leyendecker, you'd probably have more official looper on the bag this week if that was a
Very true.
permanent option.
Yeah, it would
potentially.
be like a tryout.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. I'm excited. I don't have a ton more to add. I guess maybe Weatherman Dan goes to look at the weather really quickly.
We've
Yeah, I
win.
mean, I think we can just like. Yeah, I think we've covered basically everything that is for this week. I mean, I know that it's been. I say this every week. Just want to see something, man. Something that gives me hope for the new year.
Yeah. If you had to like kind of like expand on that, like what would make you the most, other than like a win, obviously, but like what kind of would give you a boost
Definitely
of confidence?
like showing that like some strut
Effort.
in his step, like some confidence, some effort. Maybe let's tee off on the right tee boxes this year. I mean, it doesn't get more effortless than not looking at which tee box you're supposed to be at. Thanks to old man Stenson for not also noticing. But yeah, I like, let's not be popping farts out in the middle of 2-footers.
That's so bad.
Like, let's look for the bare minimum this week.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see him like oozing with confidence on the greens. I'd love to see him like pouring in 10-footers with like speed and not like tentative strokes. I'd like to see 10-footers not left short, please.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I mean, we're literally just asking for the bare minimum here.
Yeah. So you'd like to see him be a professional golfer, basically, is what you're saying. Yeah. Jordan, do you have any
take
on
it
what would make you-
seriously. I don't need great play. I don't need a win. Although starting January 1st of the century, I expect a win. I expect the full repertoire of weapons. The season really starts January 1st. No DFL again, just the bare minimum would be nice. No fours, routine fours. I think a good ask would be for him to play better than he did in Rome. Because Rome was rough.
Because this is a relatively hard golf course for PGA Tour standards, I believe. Like, I think the winner's usually around like what, 12, 15-ish.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier than that.
I think it gets up a little bit.
Last year was tough. But last year the dispersion of scores was
so
weird.
Spieth goes. I mean, I don't have the numbers in the back of my head, like what the par is, like what this even adds up to. But if he goes like 68, 71, 70, 60,
that'd be a good week.
And finishes like T.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like
Jay
what?
Spieth
He'd be like what?
+1 last year.
Like he'd be like 6 under, like finishes like T12. Are you happy with the T12 this week? Like,
I mean, I'd appreciate not finishing like 10 plus strokes back off the winner.
Oh my god! And do you guys
That'd be an
remember
upgrade over the 17 shots he finished behind Hovland last year?
He was 24 back of Hovland in 21. He was +6, and Rory was in 18th and was -6 in 2021.
Spieth, the last couple times he's played at this course, has finished 7 over par. So maybe red digits would be a good expectation.
Nice. Yeah, I looked at the weather little bit of wind.
Ooh.
Enough to probably keep it around 15 to 17. I think my
Hovland's beat him by 41 shots the last 2
last
years.
2 years. That's hilarious. I think a good just like I don't know if be in touch with the lead, but just be like in with the rest of the pack. Don't be
Like a reason to get up on Saturday morning would be nice.
Or afternoon.
sure. Yeah, or just
Late
like
afternoon.
Well,
just like if
still
the
morning-ish for me.
average, I guess what I want is a positive strokes gained,
That'd be nice.
which
I
would,
can
I
go
think
with
would be
that.
nice. Or if it's 12th place and it's like minus half a shot, that's fine.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Something
Under
something
par
kind of
It's just
finish.
sad
in
that we're
that
settling
range, I
for
think
minus
would
half a
be
shot to the field. But
yeah.
I
That's all we
know, but
need. That data golf needs some more green. I have not
all
looked
right.
at the
Yeah.
JSP data golf in a long time,
great.
but
All right. My last question
He's
that I want to bring
yellow.
up. I know we joked about the A minus, but if Spieth does win this week, how does your opinion of this calendar year change?
It doesn't change much.
That would help his official world golf ranking a good amount.
I think
I
he moved
believe.
like up to 11th. I think I saw.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the most fugazi win you could possibly have, I would say, right?
yeah, I
Woods
think
for
it.
finishing dead last moves up like 500 spots.
Yeah, I think it changes. What I think I gave him a D minus maybe for the calendar year.
I
So I
gave
think
him a
I'd give him
D.
a C minus.
That seems
But
fair.
I think it gives me more optimism, obviously, going into Century.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure. Unless he decides that this is a great triumph and he needs a month off before because everything's clicking and he worked so hard to win this week. But
Oh boy.
no, I think he's I bet you we hear he's trending at some point this week. We hear that word out of his mouth. So
After the 68 on Thursday.
after the 2 under 68 to be 5 back on Thursday. Oh my goodness. It's like it's a flat circle with Jay Spieth. You just get the same
You're playing
driving
against the
numbers.
opponents, not the golf
You want to know what I was
course.
thinking about recently with Jay Speed? It's crazy how many no names have the ability to fire like a few first round 64, 63s in a year. And Spieth just can't do that purely because he makes too many mental mistakes, even when he's playing his best golf.
I mean,
Like all of his 65 should be 63s.
I guess, but Memphis is really good, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Memphis was probably the only year I can think one this year I can think of that was like
Phoenix he had a
Phoenix.
63 in round 2.
Uh,
I mean,
that was
look, I think part of the to that point, part of the Jay Spieth thing is that like he probably could have shot a 61 and he probably could have shot a 69, but so the 64 is actually, or the 65 is actually like a pretty good like bar. Like
Yeah, I
he as
guess.
much as he gives away some shots, he like holes something.
Yeah, he pulls
that's
some out
like,
of his
oh my,
ass for sure.
that's
But
ridiculous. Like, what is that? That should
yeah,
not
I
be
guess you're right. But he also puts himself there by shanking 8-irons.
right.
it's very true.
That's a good point. Missing the green, short-sided,
With a
30-yard
58
bunker.
degree is
Yeah,
never good.
30-yard bunker shot from 165 yards is in the bag, so to speak. And it's like,
It's
well,
definitely a shame that we have to see so many highlights.
yeah, that's I think that's a good way to put it there too.
George Spieth with 2 feet in the water. Well, let's not be here in the first place.
I always love the Kyle Porter tweets that it's like just says Spieth and then leader up top, and he's just in the trees, like or in a bush or something like that. Those are my favorite. Just like
There's some
screenshot.
native area this week we'll have to contend with.
Oh yeah, just see with like a hybrid out behind a bush in a sandy area and Spieth leader.
There will be waste area, native area a
Yeah,
couple times, I guarantee.
yeah, and there could be some splash emojis on the old
Alrighty, let's not talk about it.
feed. I'm gonna knock on some wood, but
There you go.
I'm
All right, here's the here's what's really interesting is so all of our sports happiness that we have had recently, I mean, ASU football is doing great. But with the Dolphins, the Rangers, Arsenal's at the top of the Premier League, the Ravens are doing well. Michigan just won. They could win a natty. Does the inevitable T17 this week send all of our other teams into a spiral?
It's a good
to
question.
follow?
I mean,
I don't know if
maybe
there's correlation there.
it
but
would
who
be
knows?
funny if Jay Spieth finishes dead last and the Patriots score 45 points or something like that. Like, I think then somebody's controlling all of this stuff.
M. Jones,
Yeah.
300 passing yards versus
Yeah, M. Jones throws for 375 and 4 touchdowns.
Darian Lowe, no pressure.
But Darian Lowe, BFF's highest rated tackle for the week. Come
Dan,
on.
do you like Caleb Williams to the Patriots? Do you like that? Mr. Schlaber likes that a bit too much.
I mean, I'm not opposed.
mean, yeah,
think-
it's better
Oh,
than
it's an upgrade.
Yeah, it's certainly an upgrade. Yeah, Mac Jones is done in New England. Sure. I think there's a lot. We could use everything on offense. So
Isn't JJ a senior?
JJ is a junior. My guess is
He's-
JJ is gone.
Yeah.
Miss-
JJ second round of the pass.
I shoot.
Mr. McCarthy.
If there's a combo of Jay Alt and Jay McCarthy. Shoot.
That sounds like
Right.
Belichick to me.
I ain't mad at it. Like,
Mr.
now,
McCarthy
Belichick-
will be the next Mac Jones.
he throws a faster fastball than Mac Jones.
And he can move, right?
And it spins pretty tight. So, oh yeah, he can run. Yeah, that's yeah,
He can move.
a little bit. Mac Jones has the yips. Actually, it's kind of sad to watch.
At the
It's
end of the
bad.
day, Mac Jones just can't play the defensive side of the ball like his predecessor.
No, he can't. He can't play it as good as like L. Jackson either, though.
Hey.
Well, L. Jackson actually has a good, like, an
P.
elite,
Mahomes.
like, level talent at defense. So,
Well,
Yeah,
so
thank
did
you
so
for
did the
that.
Patriots.
yeah, but
I law.
he willed them at points as well.
Yeah, but
No defensive team is
Well,
ever
okay,
good
so I
enough
think
to win with
that's-
13 points in the Super Bowl.
that's the Belichick effect right there, though.
Okay.
Like, it's not if
He is
you're
the best
gonna
defensive coach of all
say
time.
that, then I think it's not all Brady because
Yeah,
Belichick
Never said it was. In fact, I agree with you. It was not all Brady.
he's I mean, the Patriots are going up 40 points the last 3 weeks and we're 0-3. Like, I'm not really sure what you can do about that. That's
Score
like
more
scoring
points.
that's like scoring 150 points in fantasy each week and losing. Like,
Score a defensive touchdown.
yeah, I guess just
That's
play
what you
better.
need.
Play
Play
better,
better.
Patriots. Play better. But it's crazy. Absolutely
true.
crazy. But no,
Yeah.
it's bad up there in Foxborough. Really bad. It's all right though.
Well, not as
Gotta
bad
sacrifice for the JJ McCarthy.
Not as bad as the
championship.
football here in Tempe.
Aren't they? What are they? 130th out of 133 teams in some.
Correct.
BFF Adam.
And
Yeah.
and they finished standings wise 8th in the Pac-12
Hey, it's
out
not
of 12.
8 out of 12. Not bad.
Yeah,
Sounds like a
not
Mac
bad.
Jones stat line.
Better than
12.
Cal, Stanford, and Colorado.
Wow.
Bad.
They beat the prime times.
The
They
prime
didn't,
times.
But the prime
Cool.
times finished 1-8 in the conference. So
I
We
thought
won
Shedeur
2
was
games.
him. Oh,
we
that's
won 2. We
hilarious.
won 2 games.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Go
We
Devils.
upset UCLA as 20-point underdogs
That's right.
That's
at the
crazy.
Rose Bowl.
Man, Chip Kelly. I might be at the Rose Bowl.
Chipper.
That's cool.
Should be crazy.
Good.
But that's for another day. All of our focus is locked in on Albany Golf Club.
Albany Golf Club.
I think that's what it's called.
Dude, I think it's just Albany.
No, it's at Albany Golf Club.
Oh, I apologize to the golf
Oh.
club of Albany.
No, actually,
It's
never
in New
mind.
Providence, I think.
New Providence, correct.
Actually, it might just be Albany.
I think it's only Albany.
I think the Bahamas are just stealing all of our cities. Providence, Albany.
Yeah, I think we took them from Europe though.
Yeah, but the Bahamas. Well, technically, the Bahamas is like, or no, I think they gained their freedom from Britain, like in like the 90s or something.
Maybe
I
next
don't know.
maybe on the recap you can give a little history lesson of the
Yeah,
Bahamas.
I'll go into research as I'll just do that on top of all of my final exams that I have to deal with.
Thank you for your service.
Anytime. Putting in more work off the course than Spieth is anyways.
Yeah.
But all jokes aside, we will put faith in the little man.
Hey,
come through.
That's
the little man. Come on, cuz.
I'm putting faith.
You're talking about
in,
Brian Harmon, right?
Yeah. Is he playing this week?
He is in the field.
Harmon tees off
Good.
first.
Good.
With
Put some respect on
taking
him.
over the 2-year HV3 spot in the last some of the.
He is the champion golfer of the year, you know.
He is. Put respect on Mr. Harmon's name.
That's crazy. It's funny to think that that's like Brian Harmon.
Brian Harmon has.
You mean not a fair fight?
Yes.
Wasn't a fair fight at Liverpool.
Not a major. An all-time dominant win.
All-time putting
and
performance.
Spieth was only 5 back at one point.
Yeah.
I was getting anxious on the grounds.
Spieth was tied for first on Thursday.
Yeah. And
what was it? 30. How many holes was it? 24 or 36 where it was like really nice. And it went to crap.
For Jay Spieth? I think he was after 27, he was solo too.
Now I'm sad.
Yes. Just wait till his 2 under front 9 gets the juices going on Thursday.
That will get my juices going, actually.
I think
I would love to see top 6 or 7 after day one would be nice.
Yeah. And if he does that though, it'll be because he hit 8 greens and just chipped and
care.
putted.
Just do it, man. Just do it.
Butt off. Yeah. And then follows it up with a whopping 74.
I mean, besides the short game, nothing's great. So just score. I don't care how you do it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Get the job done. Do your job.
Do your job.
Do your job.
On to Cincinnati. On to the retirement home for Mr. Belichick.
We've gone off the rails. This is great.
We have. It was a pleasure being back.
It was.
It's always fun to talk with these gentlemen. Sometimes we forget we're even talking for people. So
yeah, just wait till Ten Hag has a masterclass tomorrow. It's Galatasaray. Anyway.
Yeah, the Arsenal game is not meaning.
It's in Turkey. You guys are going to lose.
No, we're not.
Well,
we have Colby Mainu. Colby Mainu. He's saving us. He's 18. He's a boy and I'm a man, and I'm hoping that he saves us.
Oh man. All right.
Scenes.
Okay. We'll see you guys in the recap. Heard enough. Take care.
Peace.